What's up, guys? Welcome back to B-Team Jiu-Jitsu. It's your boy Nicky Rod, and today we have a special guest teacher, an Olympian, a man that essentially climbed Mount Olympus himself, climbed his way up the ranks, and became a part of the Olympic team, competed in the Beijing Olympics, four-time NCAA All-American, Coach Andy. All right, guys, peeking here. Today, we have a special guest teacher, Coach Andy.
Thank you guys for having me. So I'm just going to go over some of the stuff that I think is relevant for jiu-jitsu. First, I'm going to go over how I hold a single leg. Just it's a little easier on your arms because in this sport you're gripping a lot. So I notice a lot in the sport, a lot of people are holding single legs like this. So this is going to intro us into what we're really going to be working on. But to be able to get to there, this is hard on my grip. If I'm holding my grip here and trying to move the guy, he's pulling his leg back, right? And it's like now I'm fighting this big leg. What I want to do is I want to get my knee underneath it and my shoulder on top of it. So I don't even have to hold it. So what I have is my 3 feet in a line, but my back one slightly behind. So this is shelving it. So I can move them any way I want, right? And so if I could get to this position, it's easier on my grip. I can move them. You know, I can get to my finishes really easy. And it's also planting them down on the ground. Like, you know, if I'm holding him like this, he's hopping. If he's hopping and I'm moving him, I'm behind him. You know, he's one step ahead of me. But if I could get him like this and lean in, now he can't hop. And so I got that good pressure. And so we're gonna work that, and then on the defensive side, so if he's got this good position, knee underneath, feet same direction, shoulder on top, leaning in, I have to control this shoulder. And this is what we're gonna focus on all day today, is controlling and owning this shoulder. So I gotta be down and be engaged, pulling my hand up in this armpit and keeping this, because if I just float in here, he's got me beat. So I gotta get my hand underneath that armpit, and we're coming down and getting all that weight on top of this shoulder. So the reason we're doing this, I'm just gonna show you real quick, so let go. So right here, this is our single leg defense. This is our overhook position. This is our 2-on-1 position if you want it. And so if we can learn to control the shoulder, there's so many things we're about to do. So just move around, start warming up, and then we'll get to the fun stuff. All right, 1, 2.
I met Andy in Michigan. I used to work with Jake Herbert, who's also a fellow Olympic wrestler. Back in Michigan, he helped me a lot with my wrestling, and through him I met Andy, and man, since then it's been like cool vibes. And anytime he's in town, we work together. And then he just messaged me like he's gonna be in Austin, and he came through to train yesterday, and we get him to train a special class today. So I'm very glad we get to make it happen, and we can tell the students are really enjoying the moves. You know, he helped me a lot with my underhooks too, which helped me with that sidewalk fight. You know,
Hey,
let's go.
All right, so from this position, I'm gonna show what I like to defend. We're gonna come out, circle in front. So like I said, I gotta be able to control the shoulder. And the space that I get, I'm pulling it back into me. So if we're defending a single leg and he's got good position, I'm reaching out front, I'm bringing him down, and I wanna circle in front, and right here, this shoulder on top and the armpit, this is what being able to pull him. I can get to my front headlocks, front body locks, whatever you like to go to. Right, so that's the defense from the overhook side. So remember, I said we're controlling the shoulder, and this is the easiest and first way to learn it. Right, we're bent, I'm matching his head, I can fight the hands, but most importantly, I'm in that armpit, and I'm controlling the top of the shoulder. So when I start reaching for the mat, I'm bringing this down, and I'm circling and trying to keep that foot up so I can pull this armpit in, get to my front headlocks. Whatever you want. So that's the overhook side, just circling front, pulling down. On this side right here, right, so as he's circling and pulling down, we're gonna back step right into here. Right, so that's gonna be a little battle for that shoulder position. So as he's circling down, I'm just gonna back step, cross my feet, and now I can finish behind her. Right, so it's just a real simple footwork, because we're in that single, I'm stepping up, over, behind, and then bringing it up. All right, let's start moving there. Ready? 1, 2. So don't hip into him, because he's going to be leaning into you. It's going to be hard. Right, so lean into him, you got to circle down, you got to pull. So reach for the mat. Here. Now circle towards, circle to me. Start pulling that arm. Yep, get off your leg. Get off that foot. Keep it up. As you circle, keep it up. Just holding it up for you. Okay, that's going to elongate. Yeah, that's it. No, don't go over the head. Reach down to the mat. And in front though, in front. So if you want to circle in front, and you want to be able to hold this back here. So make space, and then keep pulling that armpit into your leg up. No, that makes more sense. Shelf it, and then step down. So my shoulder never leaves that pressure.
We have an Olympic level coach teaching us moves, and that's what these guys are doing. Jiu-Jitsu, baby. We went over the thing a few times.
This is why I'm gonna be better.
No.
Yeah.
We're gonna roll today. There's a roll between Nicky Ryan and Jay Rod today.
It's been the first roll in months.
3-4 months. How do you think you're gonna do?
Because it doesn't matter.
We'll see, bud.
I feel good now. If he takes you down with this move, all right, you guys fucked up.
Well, that's not no.
You're bigger than him than this guy, right?
Bigger, he's stronger, he's on steroids.
Look at this. Can we get a side? What? Side by side. What's the size?
Yeah, he's way bigger.
You gotta beat the shit out of him, huh?
All right, one more defense from the overhook on the single. This is going to lead into what we're going to go on the upper body. So like I said, we're controlling the shoulder on top, controlling that armpit. And if we're fighting to go this way and he's moving me and he's staying up, right? He's not letting me pull himself down. At some point, I'm going to be able to hook his leg with my foot. Now it's just jump back. Here, boom, leg, hold on. Right, so we're going to start going backwards on some of the stuff on the upper body. So I just want to lead into that from here. So we got the single, and we're fighting it, and we're having a hard time pulling him down. He's circling up, trying to move into us. Right, you hook that leg, back step behind, reach behind the knee, step to the butt, keep the arm. You guys know the finish from there. I don't. Control that shoulder. Right, we're matching the head. If I can't pull him down and he's, yep, right there. Now it's an easy reach. Step back, sit. Get the legs. All right, 1, 2. All right, so now let's do this overhook. So I've been working a lot of this stuff with the kids I coach, and so no, we're going upper body. So we're going overhook, underhook, right? So for me, there's 3 positions upper body. You have 3 on 1. You have overhook, underhook, side to side, and then you have chest to chest, over, under. More people don't want to be here. There's less options, so if you want a lot more options, when I spar, I love to give it up and just get in here, right? I love this fight. So obviously everybody knows the Uchimata, and after last ADCC, I see a lot of people training and doing all that stuff, but there's more levels to it, right? So you can step inside, right, which is the Uchimata. If you don't get it, you can step back, ankle pick. But now, I told you we're going to segue into going backwards. So now, from here, the first one, the easiest step to go backwards is if I'm here, he starts circling out. From here, I'm going to take a step in and then a giant step back, and I'm pulling the shoulder up with me. And I got to be engaged. I'm pulling my wrist in, I'm pulling that shoulder up with me. I'm back stepping, leading with my heel over his leg, then I'm going to take a back step to open up, and I'm just falling to the shoulder. But you have to be engaged with the overhook, right? So if I'm trying to bait him here, boom, now I'm stepping in, pulling that shoulder up, getting high, stepping back, lead with the heel, stay on the toe because it keeps me up. Then I'm going to back step so I don't get hit in the jump, and open up so I can fall. All right, one more time. Last one. Shoulder control, hip in, pull back steps out, step in, pull everything up, step over and around, foot up, back step, fall. All right, let's go, 1, 2.
Wow, I've never seen you guys drill anything.
This is Olympic level technique over here. Can't miss out.
Now, step behind his knee. No, face. Step behind his knee. Oh, like this. Yeah. So now, when the back step's gonna open up. Now, just stand high. Back now is falling.
We drill new stuff. We drill new stuff.
Let's see it.
Drill stuff after class. Fuck you, Tony.
Yeah.
Now look, you're interrupting our great,
Hindering our performance,
Yeah.
our progression.
You're fired. Okay.
I have a question on my head position. I step my left leg on in. Where does my head go?
You go right there, cover the shoulder.
Here? Yep, pull up. Pull up? Yep. And I don't want to be down, I want to
Everything's out up here. Yep. And then you step, now you're pulling them up. And when you go to back step, that's why it's falling, because all that weight's on that shoulder. So you want to cover the shoulder, everything. Again, that shoulder sort of.
The left hand isn't reaching for an underhook. Just
It is, as you're falling. It's not important though.
Okay.
The most important is control the shoulder.
okay. This will be
Hi, don't, you're sitting now. Hi.
sitting.
Yeah, you're like, you don't want to sit. You sit, you defend. He can step out and sit. So be high, that's why you're on your toes. Yep, high, pull it up, fall. That's it. Yeah, just one more going backwards. So again, right here, so a lot of times, if I'm hipping in here, he's gonna maybe try to grab his hands, lock, and hip in, right? And now we're stuck in a position like this here. He's hipping in real hard, trying to like push me this way. I'm fighting my hip in, controlling this. From here, I'm gonna take him backwards by staying inside. So I'm gonna hook inside here, and I'm gonna step back like we did last time. And remember I said when we step back, we have to be behind his planted foot, right there. So when I take a step back, it makes this one light. And just like the last one, some of you were sitting, which was making it difficult. You can't sit with this one, you have to be high. So if I go for that Uchimata and he hips in, and he's putting his hips in like this, I'm gonna take that back step, jump, come up, now I'm just falling. So from here, I step in, he gets his hands locked, and he's hipping in real hard, right? He wants to take me back too, but I'm gonna hook this leg, hop back, lift up, and just fall. And again, just the wrist. So last one, right here, step in, he hips in, hooks, back step, fall, hop. All right, let's go. 1, 2.
So, what do you think about these techniques?
Great high quality, high level techniques, showing us a bit about tripping from the upper body positions when you have an overhook, an underhook, both offensive and defensive movements, and you know, how to work your upper body along with your lower body. You know, in these trips, we have to have everything kind of aligned properly so we can get the finish and get the guy down.
Nice. Way better than Damien.
Wow, this is how it's really done. All right,
Let's see it.
straight from the source.
Let's see it.
I'm just gonna resist.
Don't resist.
I resist.
Just take it down.
The key here is to step back behind his planted leg with your left leg here. You want a high whizzer up top here, which way?
All right, bring it real quick.
Ah, you got lucky. You got lucky.
2 more things that are going to work well. One, from here, if they start circling out, I just like to bring my hand in here and trap his head. This is how I love getting to a front headlock for my overhook, right? So if they're trying to do anything but wrestle in, I love coming here, and it's just like the single defense. I'm circling in front and bringing them down. Right, so I like that. If they're pulling their head up from that, I like to give my head a little bit, and now if they're going, because it's common too from an underhook to go front head. Now when they go front head, we're ducking underneath, lifting up here. right? So it's a play, right? You're trying to get down the front head, boom. If you can't get it, give them yours as they jump, boom. I'm underneath pulling this overhook in, my backhand side lift. All right, so the backhand has to be real high. So right here, he pulls. So I can lift it easy, lift the hips, and then just pull that over up. All right, just those real quick before we go. 1, 2.
Hey, it's all up.
Fuck you! Fuck your love. Get away from me.
Ready for live?
Yeah.
All right, guys, grab some water, get ready for live training, and give it up for Coach Andy.
Yeah, it was awesome. You know, just I've been getting into the sport recently since I stopped coaching at the Olympic level, and so just getting into it and being able to roll with some of these top guys and just seeing the sport, it just got my mind thinking how I could, use certain strategies and tactics for jiu-jitsu and wrestling. And it's awesome seeing all the guys do it and really take to it because. They had a lot of them had a lot of great questions and already were using some of it, but we're able to just take bits and pieces to improve and understand things a little better. So that's cool to see. I grew up in Cleveland. Cleveland's a hotbed for wrestling in the country, and when I grew up, the YMCA programs were the best in the area, and so I went to a couple different YMCA programs that produced college and NCAA All-Americans, national champions, and then as I started getting older, I had to pick a high school, and I just so happened St. Edward High School is one of the best high schools in the country. I think for 37 or 38 years in a row, they had an NCAA All-American. And so I was able to go to that high school, and that was I really got that first taste of like how to be great, like how to go find the best people that you want to beat, to go compete against them, to train with them, to learn from them. And so, St. Ed's had an open room. It was like, no, we compete against the best, we bring the best in, and that's the only way to get better. And so I was able to do that, go to University of Michigan, where I was a 3-time All-American, and I was like freestyle more. And so in 2000, I became one of the main training partners for Charles Burton, who is the 85-kilo Olympian in Sydney. And so I'm at training camp, I train with him, and I'm like, man, I could do this for a living. And so the last 2 years of college, I was really focused on that transition from NCAA to international, because I knew I loved it more. I loved the travel, I loved the types of competitions better than college. College to me is boring. But then I trained and competed I graduated college in 2002. I trained and competed at the University of Michigan from 2002 until 2009. And then I made a world team in 2006. I made the Olympic team in 2008 for freestyle. And after I lost at the Olympics, I was told if you work hard, you're going to win. And in 2007, Russia won 7 out of 8 weight classes at the World 6 out of 7 weight classes at the World Championships, and they took 1 bronze. So I think they went 35-1. And it's like, you can't tell me the U.S. team is not working that hard, and that if we just worked harder, we were going to beat Russia. It's like, that seems impossible. It's like you're telling me they would just work X amount harder, that's why they're winning. I was like, that doesn't make any sense, because I saw what my teammates were doing. And so anyway, I failed at the Olympics, and I decided I was going to go live in the Caucasus Mountains in southern Russia. And so they told me I had 2 choices: go to Dagestan, where it was Muslim, but they suggested I go to Ossetia, where it was Christian. And so I ended up going to Ossetia, and I lived in Vladikavkaz, just north of the Georgian border, for a whole year. And that was the last year I ended up training, 2010, 2011. And so the Russians taught me their whole training system. And so I took it's like, man, I was in this position, because now I'm transitioning into coaching after that year. And so now I'm in this position, I'm like, man, I'm going to have to throw everything I thought I knew about this sport up until 31 years, from 5 years old to 31, I had to throw all that out and be like, no, I'm giving all that up. I don't care what my experience was. I'm going to take this 1 year. And now that I was coaching 2011, 2012, getting ready for the Olympics, I was coaching the Cliff King Wrestling Club in Ann Arbor. And I just blindly went in and said, no, I'm going to do it how the Russians do it, because I don't know why it works. I said, but I saw it work. I did it for a whole year. I'm just going to do it. And that's why I transitioned into coaching. And I ended up having a lot of great success. And then as I just mimicked what the Russians were doing, I started learning the science, and so now I understand why all this stuff works, and that's helped take my coaching to a whole nother level, because then you could just focus on the personal relationships of, understanding how to get the most out of the athletes and what they want, because the training and the development, it's replicable. You repeat a process, and it's just over and over and over again. It's like, I don't have to guess how it works. I know how it all plays together. It's strategy and tactic, right? And so one of the guys, Davi Cabral, that I work a little bit with in Dallas, he would tell me he's in jiu-jitsu shape but not wrestling shape. It's like, well, what does that even mean, right? And so we have metabolic pathways that burn energy. It's like, no, your body is burning energy efficiently or inefficiently based on your training. So you're in the same shape regardless of what you're doing. It's just how your body burns energy. The reason he gets tired in wrestling and not tired in jiu-jitsu is that he has mental fatigue because he doesn't understand the decisions that need to be made in that part of the sport, right? And so when you have to constantly make decisions, opposed to in jiu-jitsu, like on the ground game, he's just flowing because he's built those neural pathways. He's not making decisions. So his body isn't really burning a lot of energy. But me, if I was doing that on the ground, I'd be getting tired because I got to make decisions. I don't understand the whole sport. And so with that being said, understanding the strategy of tactics, because once you understand the sport, everybody in jiu-jitsu understands the takedown, they understand what legs to attack. So for me, the 5 things in combat you control is yourself, the mat, and then your attacks, right? And so as you're standing on the mat, controlling the mat, you have your body fakes, your level change, your hand fighting, and your movement, right? And so as you're doing that, there's only 4 options in a game of 2 that you could be, right? The first one is you both are attacking, so you're offense, right? One guy's playing defense, right? Because he wants to see what's happening, right? So you have one person's defense, one person's offense, and you have the reverse. Maybe you're winning and you just have to defend at the end. So you have defense, offense, and the last one's defense, and that is just if somebody doesn't understand, they're losing. So you don't have to train for that. So now when you're controlling the mat and you're thinking about your attacks and your opponent's attack, if you're not attacking in that moment, you're playing defense. So you have to understand, how do you defend? You're thumb blocking, you're keeping your opponent at bay, you're body faking, your level change, and now you're understanding, okay, now when I get to my attack, that's just a split second. So when you're on offense, it's actually just a split second, unless you're both looking to score, and it can become attack, counterattack, and it's a quick movement. And so if you could understand just that strategy on the feet of how to defend, and when to attack, you could eliminate most of the decisions. Because if I'm standing up, right, and I'm going to have to show you by standing, and so this is my stance in jiu-jitsu, right? So like, I understand the only thing you could do is underhook this arm. Well, I want that overhook anyways, right? If they want to take an attack on me, I'm moving here, I'm body faking, right? But they could only really do a head inside single here. They're not going to go head outside single. You could attack them. But if they go head inside single, I'm attacking that overhook. And that's what I want. That's what I taught today. And so when I'm making my decisions on my feet, I only have to defend 2 things, right? It's not like so many things. It's like, so now I'm just moving. I'm like, okay, I know, like, if he's trying to attack this leg, I'm moving. If he wants that underhook, I want the overhook anyways, to work on the stuff we did today. And so just by eliminating all those decisions, I don't have to defend anything. I only have to defend 2 things. And so if you want to get better, eliminate all the background noise that you don't need. So understand your weaknesses, and then get to your attacks in a roundabout way. I have my wrestling club website, ranger47.com. It's in Forney, Texas. Or Instagram, Andy Rovat. I think it's Andy_Rovat. That's HROVAT. You can always hit me up on Instagram. And so, yeah, thank you guys for having me. It was an awesome day.